Hey everybody, it's time for the Jazzman Show. We took a little break, but now we're back, so roll the credits. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Jazzman Show. Today is Friday, February the 8th, and this is the first video I've done in about a week because I've been really busy, and then we had that cold spell, we had Super Bowl, I had auditions I had to do, but as we stand right now, we are 77 days away from Avengers Endgame, and if you haven't seen the new promo, there is a video that I did during the Super Bowl. It's a 30-second spot. It just shows you where we are with the characters after the snap. Okay, you see Cap sitting there, and he's in kind of looks like he's in some kind of a group help meeting. And you see Black Widow. She looks like she's taking out some anger against some targets. And you see Ant-Man and Rhodey suiting up, and it looks like Rhodey has new armor there, so we don't know what happens there. We see Hawkeye, he's looking up at something red, and we see the entire group getting ready to, they're looking up into the sky there, and they're getting ready, and then the next shot we see them suiting up, and there's big gaps in between some of the characters, so we probably think that they've done some CGI to remove some characters, not to give away any of the plot points that's going to be happening in the movie. You see Rocket opening up a door. Now he's either on Wakanda, or maybe he's back, somewhere looking for Thanos. Maybe he went to Titan looking for Thanos. I don't know. He looks to me like he's wearing a different uniform too. That's straight out of the comics. But anyhow, if they released a new promo picture today, and right here it is, you can see that the Hulk is now he's in the back, and he looks like he's not as big as normally, so maybe he's Professor Hulk, which is a combination of Bruce Banner and the Hulk. So it's like Banner's brain taking over the Hulk's body, but a smaller version. So it's the best of both worlds. Very strong, very smart. So we'll see what happens with that. But he looks like he's wearing a new uniform or new clothing in the background there. That's the image that they've released today. Now, as far as everything else goes, we know that Scott Lang came back from the quantum realm. We don't know what year it is, though. That's the thing. We don't know how much time has passed. We can see that, most notably, Black Widow's hair has grown out quite a bit from the last time we saw her in Avengers Infinity War. You see the picture of the baseball field, and the cars piled up all around. It's like when Thanos snapped his fingers, 50% of the population left, which he thought was going to be a paradise, but really it put the world in turmoil, because with 50% of the people gone, well, that means 50% of the jobs aren't being done, which means that the rest of the population is going to be hurting for what they need. Sports aren't being played. I mean, it looks to me like then around the Statue of Liberty there is a conglomeration of boats that probably have just drifted, because obviously the captains, if they were to be dusted in the great snappitude there, snapping, well, those boats kind of had to find their way in, probably just drifted right into the Statue of Liberty, which is kind of, if you think about it, that's the place where people came, bring us bring us your sick and your weak and your huddled masses and all of that. I mean, that's where people came when they were kind of immigrating to the United States. But anyhow, that's all that's in that 30-second promo. The big thing is what's missing. I mean, we do see that we don't see Pepper Potts we don't see Valkyrie. And there is a rumor that Joe Russo that put out that Valkyrie and a lot of the other people from the ship that was escaping from Asgard escaped. So Valkyrie being one of them. Now she is listed in the credits, and another person that's listed in the credits for Endgame is the Wasp. So those people that are big fans of the Wasp, you'll see her. Okay, so that's kind of the rundown on that little 30-second promo that we saw from the Super Bowl game, which, you know, now everybody's drawing the conclusion or drawing the similarities. Thanos has 6 Infinity Stones. Tom Brady has 6 Super Bowl rings. But I'm going to go one step further. If you remember the very beginning of the Avengers, when the alien is giving Loki the staff, the alien actually has an extra thumb. So maybe that's the secret. Tom Brady is an alien, and he just now has enough rings to cover all his fingers and the extra thumb. I know, that's crazy talk, but you know, hey, somebody will put it together sooner or later. Everybody's, you know, doing the old Thanos as Tom Brady. Tom Brady is Thanos with the 6 Infinity Stones and the 6 rings and blah, 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 and all that good stuff. But you know what? Let's get off of this right now. Okay, Avengers 77 days away. April 26th. By the way, that's my mom's birthday, so she'll be something like, I don't know, I think she'll be 39 again this year. Okay, but the rest of the things that are going on right now, like I said, I went down, I took a little bit of a break, did a lot of, did some commercials, did some auditions for commercials. Had to drive down to Richmond on Monday, and Tuesday I was in Chestertown. Next week I'm going to go out to Delaware. I might be in New Jersey the week after that. Just a lot of stuff going on. It's been cold as hell around here. I mean, my friends actually made fun of me last week because I wouldn't go out to dinner with them. I said, look, you know, it's 7 degrees outside. I've got food in my refrigerator. Thank you. Enjoy your meal. Go out and have that, you know. Now, some places across the country, you know, they're probably a lot colder than that. But you know what? It was cold enough for me, and I think at some certain point, it doesn't really matter what the temperature is. Cold is cold, and that's the way it is. Anyhow, okay, so but what's going on in the next few months? Okay, just to give you an idea, coming up very, very soon, March 8th is just around the corner, and then we're going to get Captain Marvel. We're going to see what happens there, the backstory between Captain Marvel and Nick Fury, because they took Samuel L. Jackson, they de-aged him quite a bit, and we're going to see how she came to be. Carol Danvers turning into Captain Marvel, and that's March 8th. Now, if that's not enough for you, you know, you can turn around and go back to the movies the very next day and see Dumbo. Now, this is the Tim Burton Dumbo, so it's a live action plus animation. Gee, you know, how else are you going to make an elephant fly if you don't do it animated? But like, it's just going to be neat to see Tim Burton's spin on Dumbo, because I mean, in the first few seconds, I mean, everybody's going to be crying anyhow when Dumbo's taken away from his mother. Anyhow, if that's not enough for you, okay, so that's in March. In April, we've got Pet Sematary. Now, you remember that the gentleman from My Cousin Vinny, or Herman Munster, you know, he was the great Ed Gwynn was the Pet Sematary guy. Well, now they've replaced him, redone it, and now it's John Lithgow, who's a creepy guy anyhow. So let's see how that turns out. Now, spoiler alert, read the book or watch the old movie, but we're still going to see a different spin on that, on this whole Pet Sematary situation. Okay, so, and it wasn't Ed Gwynn, it was Fred Gwynn, I'm sorry. So anyhow, after that, if you don't have enough, the Shazam is coming out on April the 5th as well. So you can maybe do a double feature there. Go see Shazam and Pet Sematary. Now, I've also read that Henry Cavill will not be making a cameo in the Shazam movie. However, there will be a reference to Superman. And what I've read is that there's just going to be like a body double, spoiler alert, and they're going to show Superman's body from the neck down. Because I guess there's still some legal issues going on with Henry Cavill and Superman and all that. Henry Cavill, there was rumor there he was demanding a new script and a new director and all that good stuff for Man of Steel 2, which turned out to be just a hoax. Henry Cavill seems to be like the guy who just wants to do Superman 2 or Man of Steel 2, and they're just not giving him a break. But, you know, a lot of things are going on at Warner Brothers right now. More recently, James Gunn was hired to direct Suicide Squad, and it's going to be a reincarnation of that. They may bring back Margot Robbie, they may bring back Will Smith, but if they start with a brand new crew, so what? So be it. I mean, James Gunn has done it before. Guardians of the Galaxy, not a whole lot of people knew who those characters were until James Gunn introduced them, and he made a great, that's one of the better Marvel movies. People seem to really like that a lot. It's totally rewatchable. Now, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 with Kurt Russell, I enjoyed Kurt Russell. The story wasn't as good as the first one, but then again, you tell a story, then you try to improve upon it. Sometimes you do better, sometimes you just do evenly, you do par, and sometimes people think that's less than good, but anyhow, I digress. So if that's not enough for you, like again, you got Pet Sematary with John Lithgow taking over the Fred Gwynn character, Shazam coming out minus Henry Cavill, but a Superman reference in there on April 5th. Hellboy is coming out on April the 12th. Now, no longer Ron Perlman. Now they got the guy from Stranger Things. So he's going to taking over the role there of Hellboy. That's on April 12th. Now, a lot of people are getting ready for, I've been taking a look at John Wick 1 and 2 because Keanu Reeves, of course, he did that really horrible movie Replicas, which just bombed at the movie theater. But, there's saving grace out there. The guy's coming back with John Wick 3 on on May 17th. So we'll see what happens there. I believe there's a big bounty. It's a worldwide bounty on this guy, and there's nowhere for him to go. But him and his dog, we'll see what happens. And also, I'd like to see if Lance Reddick is going to be in this. I haven't looked at the IMDb page for John Wick 3, but Lance Reddick is a Baltimore actor. Most notably, you'll see him on The Wire, and you'll see him also, see Lance Reddick. My goodness, what has he been on recently? He was on Bosch, playing a policeman. But he appears in lots of different movies. He just kind of pops up. But he's a Baltimore native, so it's always nice to see somebody out there from Baltimore. On June 7th, Dark Phoenix is being released. Okay, so this is a new X-Men story. We'll see what happens there. We saw X3. A lot of people didn't really like the whole way they did the X3 Phoenix story. But let's see what happens here with Dark Phoenix on June 7th. Hasn't really been a whole lot of good coming out of the reports, but they've held back and held back. Maybe they've re-edited it and done some reshooting, and maybe it's going to be good. We'll see what happens with that. Now, on June the 21st, Toy Story 4 is going to be released. Okay, so, my God, you've got Tim Allen and Tom Hanks coming back. And another, probably the more, I can't imagine this being any less heartbreaking than Toy Story 3. And we're talking about the scene where they're going to be burned up, the Inferno type situation that happened in Toy Story 3. My goodness, and the whole story with Andy and going off to college, and oh my goodness. Well, I don't know what's going to happen, but I did read a story that Tom Hanks, while just reading Toy Story 4, got choked up with some of the dialogue. Okay, now, that's, we'll get more into that as the days progress, but on July 5th, okay, which happens after April 26th, obviously, we know that Spider-Man is going to come back. We know this already because Spider-Man Far From Home is coming out on July the 5th. So April 26th, we're going to find out all the story of Avengers Endgame. One of those people that got dusted was Spider-Man, but he's back on July 5th, and Spider-Man Far From Home takes place in Europe. There's been dozens of trailers out there, promos for them, so that's going to be great. Tom Holland plays a great Spider-Man. I'm more of a Tobey Maguire fan, but what can I say? Andrew Garfield did a great job as well. But anyhow, Tom Holland is the current Spider-Man. But if I even go back even further, the first Spider-Man I saw was Nicholas Hammond. Nicholas Hammond is one of the Von Trapp kids in The Sound of Music. So there's a little trivia for you. And that's when Spider-Man, they were using ropes, and you could tell they were ropes, and it was, very campy. The uniform wasn't CGI enhanced. It was pretty. Well, for the time, it was great, and I enjoyed it, so I'm glad that we had it, because, you got to start someplace to get someplace else. That's all there is to it. It depends on you whether you want to go forward or backwards. Okay, so Spider-Man comes out July 5th, and then the big one, the next billion-dollar movie, I think. Well, I think Endgame's going to make $1 billion as well, but Lion King, the Jon Favreau Lion King is coming out on July 19th. That's going to be the big one. That's definitely going to be the biggest movie. It's going to make $1 billion, probably the fastest, I would only assume. Now, the only person coming back for that is James Earl Jones as the voice of Mufasa. And, I mean, can you think of another actor who could take over that role? I can't. And I'm sorry to say, but Jeremy Irons can be replaced, you know, as Scar, and they did. So, and the old characters, you know, they've got, let's see, they had Pumbaa and Timon. Those actors are being replaced. Seth Rogen is one of the characters, and you've got Whoopi Goldberg is out, and Donald Glover is in. So I mean, this is going to be a lot of things. I don't know who's taking over for Rafiki, but that was Robert Guillaume in the original Lion King that we all loved back when, you know, 23 years ago, I guess it was. I know that my son loved Lion King. We got one of the first bootleg editions of that. My mom bought it in New York from a street vendor. But anyhow, so Lion King is about on July 19th. That's a mixture of CGI and, well, it's all CGI actually. It's not a live action. There are no people in that. And the great thing about Lion King is there is really no reference to what time it takes place. There's no reference to what year it is. It's just a story. And people love that story. Okay, now what happens this week? Okay. Cold Pursuit, excuse me, starring Liam Neeson is in the movie theaters right now. And Liam Neeson's under a little bit of scrutiny right now because he actually was honest about something that happened to him 40 years ago where a friend of his was raped, and it made him so angry that he went out looking for this person, and he used some racial slurs back then. But this was 40 years ago, and nobody asked him about this. He brought it up himself. So those snowflakes out there that are getting their feathers ruffled because of this stuff, guys, this was 40 years ago. Okay, Liam Neeson is not the same person. So the things he did 40 years ago should be really counted against him. In fact, they should be applauded because of what of an evolution people have made. I mean, my goodness, people are getting mad at congressmen because they did blackface, you know, back 35, 40 years ago. You got to remember, there was a movie out there with C. Thomas Howell called Soul Man. The whole premise was a white guy couldn't get into Harvard, so he puts blackface on to get a minority scholarship to go to Harvard. And we loved that movie. It was, you know, it was not the greatest movie out there, but it was acceptable during that time. Would it be acceptable during this time? I don't think so. However, more recently, Tropical Thunder, you know, you had Robert Downey Jr. in blackface. Let's just put it past us, guys. You know, there was a time in our society when a woman, if she showed her ankle, was deemed a harlot. Now a woman can go out, you know, in a bikini to do her shopping, and nobody really thinks twice. They say, well, good for her, maybe she's comfortable. Who cares anymore? I mean, we've got to just stop pointing the finger at everybody like that. It's just, you know what, there's an evolution out there. Let people be who they want to be. As long as they're not bothering you, leave them alone. You know what I mean? So anyhow, okay, so what's in the movie theater right now, again, is Cold Pursuit with Liam Neeson. He's 66 years old. He's being an action hero, which is really kind of, you know, good for me because I'm 54. I'll be 55 in just a couple of months, and I'm still on that trek of, you know, trying to get to someplace. I mean, writing my own movie right now. Got some people that are interested in playing some parts, so that's going to be good. We're gonna have to I'm going to have to hire a crew, and I'm going to have to, you know, get funding and all that stuff. But that's a different story down the line. But there's still hope out there, and without hope, why even get out of bed in the morning? So that's why I do that. Now, I'm not doing stand-up this weekend unless I can find a place, maybe tonight, to go out and do that. But I will keep you updated. Now, so Cold Pursuit's in the movie theaters right now, but coming up on Wednesday, February the 13th, is Alita Battle Angel. Okay, save your money, guys. This movie is not getting great reviews from any critics out there. In fact, they're looking at this as being one of the biggest bombs of 2019, and we're just in February. But James Cameron produced this movie, and it's at a cost of about $200 million. You've got Christoph Waltz in there. You know, he's a two-time Academy Award winner, but doesn't mean it's going to be a great movie. You know, let me just make just another thing. You know, there was a guy on another video show who said that you know, Brie Larson is going to be great because she's an Academy Award winner. She's going to be great as Captain Marvel. You know what? I don't really believe just because you won an Academy Award that you're going to be great as another character. Okay? I mean, Ernest Borgnine won an Academy Award, but he's not remembered for his movie. He's remembered for McHale's Navy. Shirley Jones won an Academy Award. She's not remembered for her movie. She's remembered for The Partridge Family. Goldie Hawn, on her first outing as a movie actress, won an Academy Award, but she's remembered for Private Benjamin. Okay, so not to say that these people can't have long careers, but really, just because you win an Academy Award, that does automatically equal success? What's Adrian Brody doing these days? What's the girl that played Precious doing these days? I mean, seriously, are these big name people out there right now? Nothing against them. You know, God love them, and congratulations on your Academy Awards, but you know, what's next in your evolution? So when this guy said that Brie Larson is going to be a great Captain Marvel because she won an Academy Award, you know, stands to reason she's going to do a good performance. I mean, and it's going to be an entertaining movie, but nothing says it's going to be a great, she's going to be a great Captain Marvel. I don't know, that's just my spin on things. But anyhow, guys, okay, so I want to wrap this up a little bit here because I know I'm running out of time on my video card. But okay, so just to give you a rundown, I'll be doing another video in another couple of days after I see a couple of movies out there and give you reviews. But in the meantime, you've got a lot of things to look forward to the next few weeks. Again, 77 days away from Avengers Endgame, and there's more and more information piling up every day on the internet. So you can probably see that. You can see and make your own conclusions. Right now, the most recent thing is the fact that it's looking at about a 3-hour runtime. That's a long time. So should there be an intermission? I don't know. Leave a comment in the back. You know, I remember as a kid going to see Gone with the Wind with my mother. That's a 4-hour movie, and there was an intermission. So the pros of an intermission are the fact that you can stop the movie, go to the bathroom, get some concessions, and come back. Now, the way to really capitalize on that is the filmmakers know at what point they want to put in their intermission, and then put a little cliffhanger in, which gets people back from the box office, back from the bathroom, and back into their seats quickly, and it builds anticipation. That's just my idea for it. So if Avengers Endgame has an intermission, that'd be great. If it starts a trend of movie theaters with intermission, that's even better. You know, as long as they time it right. What's your thoughts on this? Anyhow, drop me a line. You can always reach me at thechazmanshow@gmail.com, or you know, you can find me. I'm on Facebook too. I'm on Twitter. Just look me up and leave a comment here on this video. And if I don't see you out there at Second Chance Sundays, because I'm not performing, but I might be out there just to watch the guys out there and the girls perform, because I always like the show. It's a free show, and you know, they have discounts on drinks, and it's just a nice place to go. I mean, it's a great Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening for me. But anyhow, I'll keep you more up to date on that. So in the meantime, guys, enjoy the movies, enjoy your day, leave a comment. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends, because the only way I'm going to get any better here is if you keep sharing and subscribing. Now, last month I had 5 new subscribers, so let's see what we can do this month. Like, share, subscribe, and my name is Chaz Riddle. We'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.